Just realized I won't have voice on the stream. I don't think. Oh, no, there is a mic being. It's gonna be bad audio though. It's clipping. Let me just try to lower it. Oh shit! If I would have fucking just connected my USB microphone, I could have used that instead. But instead, it's not gonna sound the best, man. It's all right. It'll get the job done. Yeah, it's not gonna be fine at all, but it's gonna have to be fine. Oh well. Damn, I could have plugged in the microphone. I didn't think about that. It would have sounded hella good. I still do that. Be a pain in the ass. Let's not do that. All right. Shit, I might even be able to plug in my headset and use this microphone at the very least. It would be better, but then I won't be able to hear you. All right, never mind. Let's just leave that alone. All right, are you on my stream? Are you there? I might be live. Might be live already. Can you hear me at all? Really? It doesn't sound that bad? Cool. Good to know. Good to know. All right. All right. So just got a black screen right now. Let's see if we can start the computer up. And when you start the computer up, you got to spam either the delete key or F2. Sometimes I just do both. Probably more than you need to spam it, but I don't want to miss that opportunity. I just wanted to go through the first time. Oh, I can see it. Look, it's in the menu. Damn, I don't even have it on my monitor, but I can see it on my laptop in the preview. Okay, so we definitely accessed it. Okay, we're in. All right, we're in. We're in BIOS. Okay. Why the fuck can't I see this shit, bro? If I turn this on, is it gonna show it to me? Please? Thank you. All right, cool. All right, so I don't even usually use the mouse. I can use the mouse, but I usually just use the keys because I spend a lot of time in BIOS. All right, so here we are. This is the ASUS BIOS, which is what yours is going to look like as well, which is good because I already know how to navigate this a lot really easily. And so, like your standard information about all your stuff. Um, the mouse moves really quickly in here, which is weird. It feels different than when it's in Windows. So let's see. So normally we're just gonna go. We're gonna. Oh fuck! If I set everything to auto, then I'll have to do everything and put it back. Not that I mind, but kind of wanted this. No, 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 no. I don't mind doing it, but it would be a pain in the ass and all that. But um, so this is where you select like automatically everything's gonna be done. Default, which is like default is similar to automatic. So like if you see default uses purely the stock base clock. Auto is like default of the board. So my auto would be different than another board's auto. Default should be across the board. It should basically be preset values and your board's ability to maintain those to adhere to those values as closely as it can. Manuals, whatever you select. DOCP standard is what you want. That's what you want. That's what's going to allow the memory to function at its full capacity or close to its full capacity or even above it. Once you have that selected, there should only be one profile under your DDR4. It's probably going to be this exact profile. And you would select that. You would leave all this alone. BCLK frequency will really give you a lot of instability. You always want that to just be at 100. Maybe on your chip, you might be able to squeeze out a tiny little bit of performance. It will cost you stability. I would not ever mess with this above 100. Also, I'm probably going to have to do this live again, the day that we're doing it all, but now we have it set up so that I can do it live. This is going to be awesome, dude. BLCK divider, just set that to I would just leave the BCLK is just very finicky. I used to have so many problems when I would mess with this, so I just leave it alone now. I'm selecting level 2, which is technically like the fourth bar up. It's the most before it's to overclock. Now, what it means by overclock is it's gonna fuck with the BCLK, and you will have 3 and 4. It lets you know it's an overclock because overclock automatically means that something's not going to be as stable as it was. One thing will work better, something else might not be as stable, and that might not matter. The fact that it's working better and it's just slightly, ever so slightly less stable doesn't matter because you are not pushing it to the boundaries where it's pushing that stability. CPU core ratio. So this normally is at 3.7. That's normal. If you were to type auto and restart, it would set automatically to 3.7. That's the base clock frequency. Max clock frequency, I think, is like 4.3 on this thing. Good luck hitting 4.3. I've never been able to do it, not on air. Maybe if I was water cooled. 4.2 is completely stable, but I can even get away with 4.22 or 4.25 or even 4.50, and I will have some instability issues. Like I would probably not want to play the most demanding game and stream at the same time while I'm pushing this core to its absolute maximum on basically on air, which is like, it's pretty incredible. Honestly, I used to be able to hit these same numbers on the stock cooler, but I chose to upgrade the cooler because I didn't like the way it looked. I just wanted, I didn't like how it has like a light that you couldn't turn off and it always says AMD, and I didn't want it. And long story short, it's a great cooler. It worked fine, and I was able to reach all these same numbers pretty much. Maybe it's a little more stable now, but I usually just rock 4.2 gigahertz on my processor because I never have any problems. But just for the sake of this tutorial, we're gonna bump it up to the next possible slot. Actually, we're gonna go up to a quarter bump, and see if we can get it to hold there. And then also with the memory, I just run it at 3200 because it's stable there. I know I can probably push this to 3266, and the way I'm doing that is I'm not running, my DRAM voltage is not what it should be. I sometimes I run more. Right now I'm running less. Sometimes I'll run more. If I wanted to be crazy, and let's just right now, we're probably gonna get a blue screen, but we're just gonna do this for fun. Probably won't break my computer. Technically, I could risk it, but I've never broken it, and I've pushed it really hard before. We're gonna go. You would never want to push above. You would never push above. So this is 135 normal, or like standard settings is 135, and the recommended factory settings for this RAM is 1.37, but we're just gonna go all the way up to 1.39 right now, and which you would never want to exceed. Like I think like unsafe voltages for this are above 2.0, like 2.0, 2.5. I think that's dangerous. Look, see, it says 2.15 is the maximum, and it's warning me that that's too much. You're gonna fucking kill your shit. So it even tries to stop you from doing insane things. But if I was, if I really wanted to risk it, I could do that. We're gonna go 1.9. We're gonna do 1.9. Oh fuck! It doesn't even want to let me set that anymore. It's like, what are you doing to me? Um, okay. Whoa, 1.9 is really high. 1.39 is what I meant. It's just much lower. Oh, yeah, that's right. So 1.45, that's the safest. I was trying to remember what the safest voltage. 1.45, not 1. That is the safest you could ever really run it. It's dangerous, and you're risking breaking something, even at those levels. But according to all the pros, you will not break anything at those levels. I mean, the box and the manufacturer will tell you it's a risk. But from what I've heard from the pros, you can push your speeds all the way up to your voltage to 145, and you'll be fine. Let's just not go that kamikaze. Let's go 1.4, 1.39, 1.4 is probably as much as I would feel comfortable pushing it. And then we're gonna go into exit. We're gonna save our changes. So we're going from our core ratio, we're going from 4.2 gigahertz to 4.25. That's a 1/4 of a bump, which is like almost the smallest increase we could try to make on it. We're going to go from 3200 to 33, which is a significant boost. I don't know if this is going to hold. And then our DRAM cache latency, we're gonna lose a bunch of. All right, and I should probably take a picture of this to remember what I did. Last time I tuned my memory, it took me fucking days of tuning my memory, and I was able to figure out that it was stable here at 14 cache latency, which by the way is phenomenal. When they do sell 14 cache latency, it costs twice the fucking price. So I bought, and this is what I'm going to try to do with your kit of memory. I'm going to suggest these numbers where it's going to start at 16, and we're going to try at 15, and it'll hold at 15. Then we'll try 14. I really doubt it'll hold at 14, but we'll try it. The worst thing comes to worst, you have to restart your system and start again from scratch. It takes another 5 minutes or whatever, but at the end of the day, you unlock performance, and this is what overclocking is all about. It's about adjusting these numbers right here, which you can find inside the Extreme Tweaker. You go to DRAM Timing Control, and this is where you fuck with all that. And so I went in by one, and I lowered these numbers one at a time to figure out what the lowest possible settings it could be, because lower is less time. So instead of this 16 means 16 milliseconds. So by reducing it to 14, you're not giving yourself too much, but it's still 2 milliseconds, which it's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's not really real time. It's the clock time. So it could be, so each little number is more, especially considering on how fast your processor's going. Anyways, let's just try right now this and see if it boots back up again. This is how you test the system. You restart it, and when you restart it, you don't go into BIOS right away. You go into the system, and we're going to have to download Cinebench for you, because you have to have a benchmark to know. You still there, bro, by the way? I got AO stuck in my head. Is you still here, Squall? What's up, dude? I'm showing Zazzy how to overclock a PC. So we're gonna go into the Windows, and we're gonna open up Cinebench R15, and we're gonna run one just to know what our numbers are at right now, so that anytime you're overclocking your system, you have to let it boot back in. If it's CPU, you're gonna be usually using something like Furmark or Cinebench, and then if it's GPU, or no, I'm sorry, no, Furmark would be the GPU one. Like whatever. Cinebench is one of the ones that you would use for sure, and there's other ones. And then for the GPU, it would be a different benchmark. You wouldn't use the same program because it's taxing, it's working in a different way. So okay, so we're gonna let our PC boot up for a second. It's gonna load our graphics drivers and stuff. I have an overclock graphics card that automatically gets overclocked by this program here, so this thing has to load every time you start it up. I would almost want to disable this right now while we're doing all this, but it would be not too much work to disable it right now, so we're just gonna leave it. Now to get the most numbers out of here, you're gonna want to do a few things. You're gonna want to minimize everything that's in this system tray. So this Valorant anti-cheat bullshit gone. Wait, what did I do? Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, this I'm just gonna go ahead and close this. My GPU. It's not letting me. Maybe I can't close that down. But I'm just gonna close all this stuff down. The RGB lighting software. I don't need that. We're gonna leave internet, Windows, security. I'm not gonna shut that down. And it's not letting me close these. Okay, cool. Then we're gonna do one other thing. We're gonna go into. We're gonna hit Control Shift Escape. We're gonna go inside of Details. We're gonna highlight the Cinebench Cinebench application that we're working on, and we are gonna set priority to real time. So that means that while it's running, nothing else will be running in front of it, like instead of it. So as soon as I hit this run button, I won't even be able to use my mouse, but it's going to divert all the power so we can know exactly how good it's running. By the way, our memory booted up with this voltage at 33 megahertz, which is faster than we were running it. Just to give you an idea, in the current configuration, the best I've ever scored is 1908. And in my usual day-to-day configuration, what I was just running, I go about 1900 to 190, like let's just say 1905 around, give or take. So I think I was running at 1900 yesterday, but it was really warm in my room. So it never drops below. Boom, 1903. If it was gonna crash, it was gonna crash right now while I was doing this test, for example. What's up, BK? Hey, what's up, Squall? Yeah, as long as it reboots, you're already it's a little bit, it's like enough. Okay, so there's different levels of stability. Just to be able to turn on and go into Chrome, that's like one level of stability. But overclocking your computer is not going to help you with that process, so it'd be pointless. Now, gaming is a whole nother level of stability, but things like this benchmark here can help simulate a workload that would introduce problems, and it will hopefully it'll hopefully highlight any potential issues. So, for example, right now on this new configuration, which is not what I was running, I'm running my memory a little bit faster, but because the timings are not quite as tight, we lost a few points. We lost 5 points on Cinebench from my overall best run ever on this. Now, the next step would be to go in there. So we're going to close this down. We're not going to save any of our scores because these scores are not our final scores. Also, if I really wanted to test for stability right now, I would probably run the most demanding application that I have to run, which would probably be Warzone. Like off the top of my head, Warzone's pretty demanding, or and why is this? Did I not? I must have not started it because it wouldn't take that long to load. Anyways, unless it is and something funny is happening right now. No, I just what they had. Okay. We're currently experiencing a DDoS attack. Oh fuck. Okay. Well, that's that. Shit. Um. Anyways, we're just gonna pretend like we loaded up a game and everything ran fine, and we're like, okay, we're good now. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep pushing. So we're gonna restart. So we restart the computer, and this is what overclocking is all about. It's a lot of restarting. I switched to Ryzen. Hey, you did? That's what's up, bro. Boss says meh. Um. Yeah, not the most exciting thing. I did this stream because I was gonna do a private one for Zazzy, and I just figured, whatever, dude. We'll start it up. I'm trying to observe Blackout Day, so I probably wouldn't just be like streaming some video games today. Trying to stay off Twitter and shit. Um, my heart and mind is with the protesters out there right now. My health is not with me, or else I would be out there protesting with them. I got a surgery lined up, and my health has not been the best, so I can't be out there right now. It would not be wise. If I want to be able to protest for the rest of my life, probably can't protest right now. But my heart and soul, mind is all out there with those motherfuckers right now. But anyways, so yeah. But I figured this is like an educational thing, you know. I don't know. Figured I'd stream it. I almost didn't stream it just because of Blackout Day and because it's kind of boring. It's a boring subject matter. But hey, whatever. It gives me a chance to say hi to a couple of you guys. I did it. Oh my god, I was distracted. And I didn't go into BIOS because I was talking to you guys. Oops. So now we're just gonna have to waste time restarting our fucking system again. Oopsie. Fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. America's a crazy dynamic place, bro. What people believe and fight for and are willing to die for in one state is not necessarily the same in the next state over. And I don't know. Anyways, but you would think that, dude, Michigan's a fucking, or yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I would think that people would want to be protesting for their rights there. It's not like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot of. Yeah, they tried to stop it, but like they even put in a fucking curfew and shit. But people don't care, man. They're still out there. Honestly, a curfew wouldn't stop me. If I, you know what I mean, if I was out there, I'm not just gonna go home because of curfew. That's gonna make me angrier. I want to be out there longer now because they're trying to tell me I can't be out there. No way. Anyways, but yeah. So we're gonna go into Extreme Tweaker. We're gonna go down to our DRAM timing control, and we're gonna try to increase our numbers at this frequency. So first things first, we'll drop the 16 down to 15. And this is so tedious that really you would want to restart right now after just changing that one value. Go ahead and restart it, but we're not going to do that. First, I'm going to check and make sure that these values down here are configured properly. So they are. just to quickly discuss this. So power down mode enabled. This would let the CPU power down if it felt like it could conserve energy. We're going to take that right away from it. So it's not going to be able to power down to save energy. I don't give a fuck about energy. In fact, I want you to go over to that power plant and burn some more coal for me. I'm trying to overclock this bitch right now. Gear down mode enabled. That's going to allow more power at a lower gear. And if you know anything about driving, that increases your torque. There's no such thing as torque, obviously, in this case, but in the similar fashion, it's going to allow a higher power mode to be used on a lower gear, lower scale, increasing its potential computational power. Commands. This can be set to 1T or 2T. We have it set to 1T. Auto on that protocol there. Okay. You leave most of these tertiary. These are called tertiary timings. That's why there's a T in front of them. Tertiary meaning third, not primary, not secondary, but tertiary or third, redundancy. We're going to focus on these timings, the more important timings, and we're going to lower each one by one value and see if it's stable. Which I don't. This is like it's usually not this easy. But we're going to see if we get lucky. Usually you got to do one at a time. Leave all the others alone. Find out what the lowest number you can bring that one down to, and then move on to the next one. And then sometimes that one lower doesn't like that previous one being lower, so you got to come back up on that one and then lower the following one. And then you got to do a comparison run on both to see which one made your CPU faster. And this is why if you do any little bit of Googling, people will tell you RAM timings are a pain in the ass. They don't want to fuck with them. If they do fuck with them, they want a tool that will automatically set values and they can just type it in and they don't have to worry about it. People rarely do this shit that I'm doing right now. But this is what you would have to do to find out what your actual kit of RAM, the one that you got, actually can do, because there's something called the silicon lottery, and that even if you have the same chip as me and buy the same kit of RAM as me, it's not going to work exactly the same. One of ours is going to work better than the other, and this is how you find out which one that is or how good it can go. Okay, so now we're going to restart the system. We just basically sped it up. It's called tightening up the timings. So instead of taking 16 milliseconds to do that, or whatever the fuck that 16 means, it's going to do 15. It's going to do it a tiny bit faster. Super fucking boring, if I'm being honest with you. But if you're into it like I am, at the end of the day, your PC runs better, and you can feel it. It's more responsive. You go to play a game, and instead of getting 130 FPS, you're getting the full 144 or what have you, and it's a very rewarding process. At least to me, it is. Looks like we're booting up. That's good. When you hit F2 or delete, you stop it from starting up usually, because the usual startup boots onto your boot drive, which has Windows, and it just automatically starts up, right? And that's how it starts. When you don't want it to do that, you hit F2 or you hit delete, and it goes into the BIOS. So BIOS is like it's like an option. You can go into Windows, you can go into BIOS, but you don't do both. And automatically it's just going to be set to 20 minutes until 4:20. Automatically it's just going to be set to go into Windows, obviously, and you have to tell it to go into BIOS. You have to request it to go into BIOS, obviously. Let's see here. We got okay, so we're stable in Windows. We got everything to start up. If you notice, that program started up faster than last time because we're running our shit a little tiny bit faster. I mean, I'm assuming everything's going to snap open really quickly and be working fine. We're going to do a Cinebench R15. I'm not noticing any problems, no stutters, nothing. Everything looks fine. All right, so we're shooting for 1908. 1908 is the best we've ever seen. If we could get 1909 or 1910, that would be a record breaker for us, our personal best, at 4.22 gigahertz. We're going to do the same things we did last time. We're going to shut down the Valorant anti-cheat. We're going to, you know what, NVIDIA prob control panel, that could probably chill. It's probably not hardly doing anything, if anything. Just leave that alone. The anti-cheat is actually doing something. It's trying to make sure we're not doing certain things. So we're going to tell it to chill. That's why we close that. Okay, I'm inside of details, and Cinebench is not near the top. That means it wasn't even a high priority of what it was doing. So we're gonna tell it to be the highest priority, real-time priority. It means nothing is more important to us right now than this thing, which is just gonna allow us to find out what's the best number that we can get out of this thing. If you don't do what I just did, and you hit the CPU run, it's going to get different numbers. Every time you run, it's going to be different numbers because this time the background thing was doing this and this time it was doing that. So what you want to do is eliminate all those things and then give it the highest priority and then run it. And again, while this is running, you don't even get to see the graphics of it spooling up. My mouse, I'm moving my mouse. My mouse is locked. I can't move it. So you can't do anything while you're performing a real-time task, by the way. So you never, ever, ever want to go into details and set real-time on anything else ever than what I'm doing right now. You can lock up your computer. I accidentally set it to real-time when I was playing Fortnite one time. Now all I could do was play Fortnite. I would not let me do anything. It wouldn't even let me get out of Fortnite. Okay. We just lost performance. So we pushed our RAM over the edge. It doesn't like it anymore, and it's not running any well. And because we eliminated all those other variables, when I hit run again, we can know that we're going to get 1895 again. But I'll just go ahead and show it to you guys that it's just going to repeat because the process, we know exactly what the computer is doing right now. We told it not to do all these other things. So if we see a variance, it's because NVIDIA control panel actually is having an impact, which I don't think it is. So I'm going to bet my money is on 1895 again, and it's 1895. Okay, so we know we have all the information that we need to go off of. This is not a good setup. We need to go back to how we had our settings before because we pushed it so far that we are costing ourselves performance now, which is totally possible. You have unlocked performance on the table that you haven't unlocked if you don't overclock. You overclock too far, you start to fuck things up. Common sense, right? It's just like in life, man. You do too much, It's not good. We're gonna restart. We're gonna go back to where we were at because actually I'm gonna go back to what before I started all this. I mean, I've already gone through this process. I already know what my computer wants, but this was a tutorial on how it's done. This is mainly based for Zazzy to learn. He's building a PC. Captain Chronic's also building a PC right now. I'm gonna be going through all this stuff with him as well. So yeah, yes, right now, very similar system to what you're building. So we're gonna restart that. We're gonna go back into the BIOS, and we're gonna just set we're just gonna set the values that we had already predetermined as what was good for us. Like I'm not saying that I couldn't do better than that, but I know those values are really good and it's really stable. I have no problems, and that's almost more important. I mean, who wants a system that's a hair bit faster, but suddenly it gives you it shuts down once a day? Like that's bullshit. You don't want that. So we're gonna just set everything back to how I had it before we started tweaking with it. 420 on that. We got 32. We were at 32 just flat. Cause see, there's this other thing that is not easily definable, but I happen to know about it. It's called the Infinity fabric, and when you have it set to its regular values, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and everything is copacetic. And when you start to fuck with BLK frequency, and it's not at exactly a 1-to-1 ratio, that's 100 just basically means 1. But you can split that 1 up really finely. When you start to put things at you start to increase those values or whatever you start to do that's not an even 1, suddenly now all your fractions start to be weird, and you get weird they call it gear ratios in mechanical things. I don't know what they call it, but you start to get weird ratios where it's like 27.8 to 1. It's like no. It runs a lot smoother, and as you can see by our Cinebench test run, just because you make it go faster does not mean it's going to be working better. It can go so fast that one thing is working too fast for the other, and suddenly now they're not talking to each other right. When you keep things at a 1-to-1 ratio in the Infinity fabric, and this is exclusive to AMD, but it's smoother. It's almost kind of like it's lubricated better, and therefore it might not be running as fast, but it's running smarter. It's like running smoother better. Anyways, so we're gonna set that back to where it was. 4.2 is already really high. That's a 5-point increase out of the box. So we don't need to run that any faster than we're already running it. Again, I'd rather have it be like rock solid stable, and I know it's never gonna crash. Who wants their game to crash in the middle of playing a game? Nobody wants that. So, anyways, I hope I didn't mess. I probably did. I probably completely thrashed this. I'm gonna have to look at the photo I took and reset the values. But from memory, this was 14. It was 14. It was 14, 15. What am I doing wrong? It was 14, 15, 15, 1724. If my memory serves me correct, this should start right up for us, which is a lot faster than the kit came out of box. It's basically like an entire level better of memory, like $100 more expensive kit of memory just by adjusting the timings. Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm sure some of you guys came around, some of you left, you dropped out of the call. Oh fuck, did I? Did my phone die? My phone might have died, bro. Okay, I'm back, guys. Yeah, Zeus stopped by. Anyways, I'm almost done here. We're gonna wrap this up now. I just want to make sure. No, there's a shit ton of more. No, there's a lot more settings that we can flip and that I didn't show you. I'm showing you some of the basics. There's more. There's more settings. Like what I showed you was definitely the most complex part of it. But what I showed you was definitely the most the RAM timings is 100% the hardest thing out of all of this. The other things are just like turning it on and turning it off. Like I went over some of those things when I was talking about power down mode and gear down mode and having those enabled or disabled and what that does. Like there's going to be more of those options we're going to have to go through and we're going to have to switch on and off. That I didn't go over right now, but that was the gist of it. It's gonna take us like half an hour or something to do this whole thing. 10 minutes to configure, 10 minutes to test it, and then 10 minutes to retest it to make sure we're good. Yeah, it takes about a half an hour. So I don't know how long has this stream been going for. It's been going for 31 minutes and 49 seconds, and we're done. You see what I'm saying? Like it literally takes half an hour to do this. Cool. That's so funny that I had guessed half an hour, and that was crazy. But yeah, so we're just gonna do another Cinebench run. So the last one. What I want to see is at least 1900. If I see 1900, I'm satisfied. 1895 is what we got on our last, and in 1908 or 1906, the best I've ever seen on this. So if I have 1900, I'll be happy. It doesn't need to be the best. Sometimes weather matters. I've also been using my PC for like 40. I never turned it off last night. I fell asleep and it was on. So the PC's been running for like 2 days. So I don't expect it to be at its absolute best right now in this moment. When you first turn on your computer and it's nice and chill, it's usually going to run higher numbers. And that's how some people cheat. If they want to get like a few more points on their support, yeah, they know they just turned that motherfucker on and the performance will drop off once it starts to get warm. It's fine. It doesn't drop off that far. Anyways, real-time Affinity. Do this. Oh shit, we didn't turn this shit off yet. Let's do that real quick. It will affect the score. Actually, I'm saying it will, and I've never tested it with it on. I'm just going off of common sense that it should affect it. If it's doing anything, it should affect it. Anyway, so again, we're looking for a 1900 score. If it's not 1900, we might have to go back into the settings and readjust. There might be something I didn't put back right. But I would expect to see 1899 to 1900 at the very minimum. If not a few more points. Oh fuck, 1881. There's something wrong. There's flat out something wrong. I missed a step. I changed something and I didn't put it back. I'm not gonna do that right now on fuck it, whatever. Was it almost 420? It's almost 420. I still have some time. Whatever. We'll see what I did wrong. I can't. The only thing that changed. Okay, I'm gonna go look at the photo that I took and make sure I'm running the right settings. The only thing that changed is Valorant being installed and all that, and now this anti-cheat constantly being there every time I turn it on. And I would not doubt that even though I'm telling it, like, exit out, that it's still using a little tiny bit of resources or something, which would make sense as to why we're not quite hitting the numbers we're hitting. It's also fucking a warm day today, and my computer's been on for hella long. I don't know. It's one of those factors, but whatever the case may be, it's struggling to hit the numbers that I know it's capable of hitting. Not by much. I mean, to be honest with you, 1895 to 1905, a 10-point difference is like maybe 1 frame per second or something. It's not like you're going to really notice that, but it's almost kind of like a point of pride thing. Like, I know what it can hit, and I want it to hit that. I'm wondering what the fuck I fucked up. Let's take a look at this real quick. Take a look at the photo I took. What did I do wrong? All right, 14, 15, 15, 17, 24. 14, 15, 15, 17, 24. Fuck my life. It's just not running as good anymore. And it's exactly the same as it was. I don't know. Maybe all this restarting and messing with it right now and the fact that it's been on all day, it's just not. It's just, I mean, again, I lost 1 frame per second maybe of performance, maybe 2 at max, and I don't even think 2, but maybe 1. But still, it's almost kind of like I don't want that, and I don't want to just leave it when I know it can run better. But yeah, we might just fucking leave this alone, man. Or else we're gonna have to start restarting and retesting. And I don't want to do all that right now. So I'm just gonna leave this alone. We'll come back to this to another day. Sort of just illustrates the complexity of this all. It's worthwhile though if you're into it. I've not made any changes to the BIOS. Okay, yeah. All right, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe it just needs a break, and maybe it's just it's running. Maybe it's hot. Fucking for all I know, it's just hot. It does. The glass panel does feel a little bit warm from the outside. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. Still working. The point is, it's working. We did try to unlock some performance on there, and we went up for a second, and then we went back down. So I'm not sure what that was about. Oh fuck! I just remember what it is. We set the power to 1.4. It's too high. The power being that high, it doesn't like it. I just realized right now what the thing was. Okay. So we'll put that back. We had it at 1.37 or 1.35 before. We'll try one of those two and see if we can get the numbers to come back up. So there you go. Perfect example. More electricity, good. Too much electricity, bad. I almost forgot that I had fucked with that power setting, bro. I'm like totally wondering why I'm having these problems, but that's the answer right there in front of us. Like, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm going to bet that as soon as I fix this right now, we're going to see 1900 again. Or close to it. Not 18, what was it? It was 1881, 1885. That's pretty low. I would settle for 1899, maybe. If it was close to the 1900, I'd settle for it. But I know at that point, that's like at least a few frames per second. Right. How time is it now? 4:14. Pack a bowl real quick. Be ready. As I have sat here, dog, and done this for like 4 hours in the middle of the night. Just like I couldn't sleep. I'm just like fucking with my computer until I'm too tired to keep tweaking it. And yeah, because I wanted to unlock like you don't have to. Like you could just set it to auto, and most people will never even notice the fucking performance difference. Like you don't need to do any of this. It's. I think you should do it because you can do it, and I particularly think it's fun to do. I'm into it. I understand if you're not into it, like other people will never want to fuck with this, and I don't blame them. Like I totally don't think they're tripping. But if you're willing to put up with a few minutes of this stuff, like it's worth it. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. Yeah, in exit, so you just go straight to exit and then load optimize defaults, and it just erases everything back to where it was. It's yeah, very forgiving. All right, yeah, 1.4. That's our fucking problem right there, man. Oh, 6.5. All right, see if we can get it to boot on 135, and see what the numbers are looking like. There's another part of the last thing in overclocking is called undervolting. And it's arguably the hardest thing to do because if you don't provide the system with enough voltage, it just won't work right, or it won't even boot up, or it'll have a lot of instability issues. It's kind of like when you go too much power, but obviously not enough power is way worse than too much power because you literally it won't, certain features won't be able to turn on if you're not providing it with just enough power. So there's this thing called undervolting, where you find out what is the bare minimum of power that it needs, or else it'll stop working, and then you give it like a tiny little bit more than that, And so basically your system consumes the least amount of energy possible. But that also adds performance, because when the computer is not strained at all and it's just running like it's like a pipeline, and if it has just the right amount of liquid in that pipeline, we got no problems. And if there's not enough, then obviously, you know, we're wasting time, and if there's too much, it's going to break the pipeline. So it's the same scenario. um and it's not going to work for me. Theirs might not work for me right now, dude. I won the silicon lottery. I straight up won. Most people cannot get their 2700X to be stable on air at 4.2 gigahertz. The most that I know, a very very good channel of very very expert guys that know way more about this shit than I do. Their daily recommend was 4.1 because it's not stable above 4.1. That shit's rock stable at 4.2. I got lucky. I won the silicon lottery. They call it the silicon lottery. You can, for example, there's a place called I think it's actually called siliconlottery.com, or you could just look up bin CPUs, and you'll see that there's companies that buy 1,000 CPUs of the same exact one, and then they find the best ones and they sell those for more. And if you want, you go straight to them. If you don't want to fuck around and you want to get the best that money can buy, you can go get a bin CPU, and that's what in fact, binning happens throughout a lot of different industries. What binning means is you figure out what's the best ones that you made, and you sell those for more, or you treat them special because they're the best ones that you got. You know, not every single product is going to come out of the factory exactly the same. So some of them are slightly better. Those are called binned. And it just basically means is that they get open and they get sorted into different bins, the top shelf to the bottom shelf, basically. Anyways, all right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's see if I was able to fix the problems we were having with a little bit of. Let's see if I know. Let's see what I know. Let's see what I know. Set priority, real time. I forgot to close the Valorant. You know what? Let's not close Valorant because I want to see exactly how that affects it. We're gonna do one run closing Valorant. And we're gonna do run with it open like we're doing right now. We'll see if there's any difference at all, for the sake of science. 419. It's ready to just clear out this bowl. Yo, what's up, Blind? What's up, Cap? You guys still here? Sorry, AMD or Intel? Huh? AMD. It says it in the title, bro. AMD. 1889. Son of a. Wait. We haven't closed Valorant. Okay, this is our last chance to squeeze out a couple more points, or if not, then we messed it up. We messed it up, or it's just been running for too long, and we got to test it again tomorrow after the PC's been off for 8 hours and see how it runs then. I don't know. I'm in the air right now. I'm as clueless as you guys. Let's find out. Cheers. 420, everyone. Come on, 1900. Show me 1900, baby. It's like fucking watching a race, bro. 1889. Fuck my life. Okay. All right. You know what? No, we don't want to save. Have I been saying yes to saving all these scores? Son of a bitch. I'm polluting all my scores right now. We're gonna do two things. We're gonna make sure the PC is up to date. It's not up to date. Okay. All right. Who knows? That might be effective. I don't know. We're gonna restart the PC after this update goes in. We're gonna increase the voltage from 135 to 137 and see if maybe we went down too far, because we were at 137 normally, and 135 is the default voltage. But we have SK. It's complicated. We have an SK Hynix kit which wants 1.7. You can find that out online also. You can look up the serial number of the memory kit you have, and someone online has done you the favor of figuring out what the max safe voltage was, and then also what the max voltage unsafe was. Like, what's the max that it took before it literally just died. And for every fucking part in your computer, they all have power limits, and by increasing the power or lowering the power, it's gonna always affect it. And as you can see, not always increasing the power isn't always going to be a good thing. It will become a bad thing at a certain point. Oh God, did I forget? I didn't hit it fast enough. I did it again. I hate when I do this. Whatever. Or is it shutting down still? It might be shutting down still. I'm not sure. It was shutting down still. My bad. It's applying this update. Oh fuck! Do I probably want to just let it start up on the update? Yeah. Fine. All right. Restart. Update and shut down. Update and restart. All right. So after we increase the voltage a tiny little bit, not as far as we had, but further than we're at right now, and we apply these updates, and if it still doesn't run at 1900, then I lost. You gamble and you lose sometimes, man. I have totally gone into the BIOS to overclock and ended up with a faster computer when I was done, and I've totally had to start from scratch because I fucking broke it kind of, and I had to restart everything. So it's literally kind of like a gamble. It's kind of a game, and to a certain extent. And this is something one time Blind was telling me, talking to me about it. He's like, well, you just want to leave it alone now, right? You're not going to fuck with it. No one's going to fuck with it, right? And I'm like, I should probably not fuck with it, but I'm totally going to fuck with it. Can't help myself. Preferred or forced when you're getting PC? AMD. Is this preferred or forced? I'm not sure if I totally understand your question, sir, but I prefer to do this because although you could totally come in here, dude, and select auto everything. Just select auto everything. Like if you were to buy, you know what I mean? Like if you're, you know what I mean? If you're not going to configure it, it's just going to be auto, and it's still going to work, man. It's just not going to work like to the same degree. It's just not going to be there. Like these little numbers that we're getting out of Cinebench. I got to be honest with you. I don't know that I'd be able to look at 1881 and 1900 and tell the difference in the game with the FPS. I don't think I could. It's like I was saying earlier, it's like a point of pride thing. It's like it's almost kind of like this is definitely an enthusiast thing, and not everyone needs to be into it, and you can't blame somebody for not being into it. But also, some people find it really fun. Like I happen to find this really fun, believe it or not. Like I'm having fun explaining this to you and showing it to you guys and stuff. So and this is where it's even more fun. You hit that OK button. And especially if you've never input those settings before, you have no idea if your computer is even going to turn back on. And that sinking feeling when it doesn't turn back on, and you're like, oh, why did I fuck with it? Oh, why did I fuck it? It's half of the fun. That shit is half the fun right there. He says, no. It was regards for AMD, Intel. Do we prefer AMD or are we forced to get AMD? Oh, do we prefer? I prefer AMD for the value proposition. Especially when I built my PC. So Intel, AMD's value proposition is so powerful, so good over the last couple of years that Intel has been forced to change the way that they're doing business. How do I mean by forced? They used to not let you overclock on certain CPUs. Now they let you overclock on most, if not all of them, because they know people like to do shit like this. Now, I was attracted to AMD because it was going to let me do stuff like this, and it wasn't going to charge me a premium to do it. Also, because I wanted to stream and play video games, when I bought my PC, it would have been a lot more expensive to do that with Intel. So it was going to save me like $500 on CPU alone. And then I was going to save like $100 on the motherboard. And the only area that I might end up spending more is that AMD likes better RAM. Intel doesn't really care as much about more powerful RAM. It basically it's already kind of doing as best as it can. It's such an old process, dude. The process that Intel is working on is like 10 years old, and the process AMD is working on is like 3 or 4 years old. So, eventually AMD probably will get to the point where it also doesn't care so much about frequency of memory. But for the time being, it's like the only downside to going with AMD is that you might be leaving a few frames per second on the table because it does not spin up as high in the gigahertz. And anyways, it's I guess you could say it's a preference. I preferred to go AMD because even though money was no issue, I also am not too into wasting my money if I don't have to. Intel is not going to, at the end of the day, and I just remembered also what actually when I could not decide, Like, it turns out that with AMD, especially at the time, I don't know if the information is true today because, like I said, Intel has made strides to sort of offer those things that it did not offer that AMD was offering. Because it wants to, even though AMD is still killing it, bro, they don't give a fuck about at the end of the Intel's still killing it, and they don't care about AMD. They don't give two shits about them at the end of the day. They make so much money off of like enterprise, companies, businesses that use their computers in their businesses, and all kinds of different Intel computers are like in everything. They dominate the laptop industry. Like they're fine. They make stuff. Intel makes their own like SSDs and stuff. Like they're what do you call it? It's like just a more diversified company. My point being, Intel is a huge company that does not care about AMD, but AMD was making them look bad, and gamers and enthusiasts were only buying AMD because it did not make sense to buy an Intel. Why would you spend more and have less features? It was literally like a really dumb buy for a while there, but now it's not the case because Intel has been forced to come a long way in the last 2 years. So, but at the time, my point of saying all this was at that in that moment in time, if you bought an equivalent Intel CPU, or actually even if you spent more, a little bit more if we're talking about comparable though, like $400, $500, the Intel one was maybe still more expensive, but it was around the same price. Then you would end up with a poorer quality stream. Only stream. Your game would look better to you, but your game would not look as good to the viewer. And when upon that, given that information and how much I care about you guys and the quality of my stream and how, at the end of the day, yeah, I love to play these games, but I was buying this PC for streaming. I wasn't buying it just to play. I was buying it primarily so I could stream what I was. In fact, most of the time, let's be honest, I was going to be playing console and streaming that. So streaming was insanely important to me, and that's what drove me over the edge because AMD is better at doing like work tasks, like streaming, compiling, editing. They can do a lot of those processes at dollar for dollar better than Intel can. Does Intel make something that might kick its ass? Yes, and it's going to cost you a lot more is my point. So at the time, I just didn't feel like the value was there, even though money was no object, bro. I pulled out a big chunk of change out of my retirement plan and bought whatever the fuck I wanted when I built my PC. But I still chose to go with the better value at the time because it just made more sense. If I wanted to have that same sort of streaming potential, I was going to have to spend a lot more in Intel platform. Anyways, I'm so confused. The products. Sorry, what's up? I built my PC Intel i7 9700K. That's unlocked. NVIDIA 1660, 16 gigabytes RAM, 512 gigabytes SSD, 2 terabyte hard drive. That's a great system, bro. That is a great system. Tremendous system. Wow, I almost forgot. I was ranting for so long that I forgot what we were going to do here. All right, we lowered the voltage. No, we raised the voltage now. We're going to close this Valorant anti-cheat, and we're going to run this Cinebench test. Cinnabon. Somebody's hungry. I'm going to run this Cinebench test now. Damn, I'm hella high, bro. I haven't even finished the bowl. The cinnamon rolls are so good, bro. Cinnamon rolls are so fucking good, bro. All right, so I didn't mean to save that last score, but at least now we remember what it was. Look how much lower. Like 1902, 1906, these are like normal scores I've seen. This is like 1906. This was on like one of the coldest days of this last winter. So like it was like really running the coolest it could possibly run. But I really want to see this number go closer to 1900. I really do. I know it's capable of it, and so I'd like to see us get closer to that number. But this is gonna be our last run either way. Either we get there or we don't. I'm not going to mess with anything else after this because I wouldn't really even know where to begin without taking a look. And it's going to take some time. And I want to play some Valorant. I've never played it. Okay, so we're in real time. And I'm going to close this. We're going to start this run. I'm literally crossing my fingers right now that we hit closer to that 1900. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go with just 1899, bro. I'm not even feeling hopeful. If we get 1899, I'd be very happy. And I'm almost kind of doubting that one, which I shouldn't. Believe 1889. Fuck. I mean, we still gained 8 points. Wow. Can we try? Yeah, you're probably right. It bothers me though. You know what? We didn't do a fucking Cinebench run before we started all this. So I'm going based off of the best numbers we ever hit. I don't know that we could hit those numbers today. I don't know we were hitting those. I don't know what our numbers were today. So that's my mistake. We definitely went up. We were at 81. We're now at 89. Hey, I'll settle for that. We gained some numbers. We could leave that alone. Yeah, we'll just leave that alone, man. We gained some numbers. That's what matters most. Fucking, I've never. Yeah, it is. You're right. I never fucking opened up. Dude, I've never launched Valorant. First time ever even launching this app. You got affiliated? That's lit. Oh, what happened? Oh, right. Oh, we're not going to be able to play because we fucking closed it. I forgot. Totally forgot that it said we won't be able to play Valorant until the next time we restart a computer. He said restart. Yeah, my bad. You're right. Excuse me. Tyler loves it. He says it's fun. Nice. I'm excited. Valorant? Yup, it's out, bro. It came out today. I actually downloaded the shit hours ago, but I've been just talking PCs and schooling Zazzy on all the stuff he's gonna need to know to get his to get off the ground up and running. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Bro, right now I'm running a 1440p monitor, but I'm capturing it on my laptop, which is like, I don't know, bro, 720p or something. So I'm the new games are cool, but cool games are cooler. Bro, honestly, I'd be more down to run some Warzone, like, you know what I'm saying, with the homies right now than play some Valorant by myself. Keep it real. So if that's what you mean, then yes, because cool games like Warzone, very cool game. Is that what you meant? Turn our fans on and overclock this graphics card so we push these fraps, bro. Get the most fraps we can. Fraps for that ass. And yeah, launch Valorant, bro. I'm excited. Yee. About to get my ass kicked on some Valorant. Should I keyboard and mouse it, bro, just for lols? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play on keyboard and mouse just for the lols, bro. Even though I'm trash at keyboard and mouse. Just for the lols of it. I have two. Oh, working? Oh shit, but he said but. I will play Valorant with you soon. You have two monitor refresh rate. I have two monitors. Yeah, I have two monitors. I have a PG24 PG24 8Q. It's a 180 hertz 1080p monitor. That thing's a beast. It's like one of the best 1080p monitors that ASUS makes. It's got G-Sync. I spent like $600 on it back in the day, and I think it still sells for like $400 right now. It's a pretty beast ass monitor, and that's my backup monitor. My main monitor is it's the beast ass. It's the 27 9Q PG 27 9Q or 9QZ or whatever it is. It's the 27-inch 1440p IPS. Oh, so nice. 165 hertz. It's really nice. It's basically the best 1440p monitor that existed up until a certain point. They make better ones now. There's two ones that are better now. One new one by ASUS. It's 240 fucking hertz though. It's not 165. And that fucking monitor it's 27 inches, same size as mine. 240 hertz. It cost, last I checked, because I wanted to buy it, I was considering buying it at one point because that's how fucking stupid I am. Cost $2,000, and I really was considering buying it at $2,000. I'm really glad I decided not to. I went with this one. This one only cost me $600. I'm so happy with it. I'm like, I don't know why I would want to spend more. This is already good. This is good, man. I'm spoiled. I feel like a goddamn digital king when I sit down at my desk. Like, what do I need better than this for, you know? Just crazy. At a certain point, like, if you're rich as fuck, sure, spend $2,000 on your monitor. I think that would have been really stupid for someone. I'm not rich as fuck, man. I'm not even rich. I'm more like broke as fuck. Oh yeah, it's out of my fucking league. It's okay though. Shit, I can't. I have no audio. Hold on. Izaz, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna leave the Discord call just to. Are you in the? He's in the chat. Perfect. You a man with a plan? Oh, good shit, bro. It's inspiring. You're right, man. I do have a plan. I got this, bro. I got it all figured out. I'm lying to myself. All right, let's see here. Fall off the edge. Oh shit! No VSync. VSync ain't on. Look at that. Look at that screen tearing, baby. Ooh, that's some serious screen tearing. Let's get VSync on. I can't stand screen tearing, man. Oh yes, full screen's fine. In fact, that's what we want. 1920 by 1080. That's really what we're running. What? That's the highest I can run. What? Oh, okay. I'm not sure why is it not doing 1440p, but let's not worry about that. It's fine. Um, Limit FPS on battery. Oh god, we're not on battery. This is a weird question to be asking me. Max FPS on What is this going on? I'm feeling like drivers are not properly installed and it's not recognizing my setup. That's what this feels like to me right now. I don't know. I've never been in the Valorant menu, so I don't fucking know if this is normal. Tyler, is this normal? He says I hate VSync. Gross. Why the fuck would you? Okay, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that, Tyler. And you didn't say that. Why would you want screen tearing, bro? I'm not even gonna bother. I don't know why you would be into screen tearing. Max FPS on battery off, man. I don't know what max FPS is. Tyler, VSync is only bad when you don't have a proper VSync panel and it can only VSync 45 to 60 frames. On my panel, it VSyncs all the way up to 165. It's locked. Yeah, dude. Input lag doesn't suffer with G-Sync. VSync is bad. G-Sync is actually really good. I should make that distinction. VSync can be bad. I would argue VSync's not that bad, but G-Sync is amazing because G-Sync does what VSync does, but at higher hertz, not at 60. So it's amazing, bro. And if you are saying you don't like VSync, you just have never played on a VSync monitor, bro. I dare you to fucking play on that shit and then tell me that shit again, bro. You're not with a straight face. You'll be cracking. You'll be laughing as you say that shit because it's a joke. Because how could you not like a fucking? Oh god, look at that screen tearing. You see those trees getting cut apart? We wouldn't be having these issues if G-Sync and V-Sync were working properly right now. I don't know why they're not. I fucking don't know why they're not. Did I close out NVIDIA's control panel and is that it? Video control panel's open, so I don't know what the excuse is. Setup. Where's the setup G-Sync option? I don't remember. Bro, I legit don't know where to turn on V-Sync right now, or G-Sync on right now. This is weird. I feel like something is not working right because my games don't look like this, bro. I don't see no screen tearing normally. Whatever. I don't need that shit for now, but no, god, this is jarring. Look, just it's so bad. The tearing is so bad. Hold on, what's going on? I feel like I need to restart the app or something, dude. This doesn't feel. Something's wrong. Something's seriously wrong. Make sure I have the Valorant shit up to date. That's weird, bro. Why is it not it's not acknowledging that it's a 1440p monitor. I thought it was 1080p. And I'm pretty sure I'm up to date. You have the latest GeForce drivers for Valorant. Like, I'm already ready to go for Valorant. Why is it not working properly? I don't know. This is funny. Alright, make sure our resolution is set to what the fuck? Oh, yeah! Oh, what a dork! We're on fucking. This is not DisplayPort. I can't. Oh man, I forgot we're using fucking HDMI so I could screen capture the BIOS for you guys. All right, I'm gonna end the stream so I can play some Valorant properly. I'm using HDMI. That's why, dude. I'm not on DisplayPort, and I told him, what the fuck is going on here, man? But so I'm gonna shut down the stream so I can enjoy this game properly. I'll talk to you guys next time. Maybe I'll do a Valorant stream soon. Peace out, boys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Talk to you guys later. This is the end. Huge IQ. I'm a fucking idiot, dude.